Rocket Lab just reported record revenue and a massive $2.36 billion backlog, but RKLB is selling off after earnings and the charts are flashing a warning. The short-term momentum is starting to roll over, and if Rocket Lab loses the $70 area, we could be looking at another move lower. But here's the interesting part: the higher time frames are starting to turn bullish, and if RKLB can reclaim $90 and ultimately break $97, this could completely flip the setup and put those highs around $140 back into play. So is this earnings sell-off the beginning of another leg down or a buying opportunity before Rocket Lab takes off again? Let's jump into the charts, and right now the price of Rocket Lab is at $80.04. We start off here with the monthly chart. Now, the last time I made a Rocket Lab episode, we were in June, and I was speaking about how we were bearish for June and we were pretty far away from the 21 moving average. And usually when we're far away from this white line, we either have to go sideways and wait for the white line to catch up to price before a move can happen, or we're probably going to come down to the 21 moving average. And as you can see, the month of July dipped straight down basically to the 21 moving average. Now for the month of August, we're getting bullish again. We have a green candle, but we still have 20 days and 21 hours before this candle closes. If we close like this, maybe these could be tweezer bottoms and this could be the beginning of a move back up. Now, one thing that's kind of bullish is that we never broke the 50 line here on the RSI and we're kind of pointing up. But what's bearish to me still is that the stochastics still haven't fully reset and we still have more room to continue coming down. But let's see if we can hold on to this 21 moving average. This is going to be the make or break here, I believe. That's currently at $56.22. If we lose this 21 moving average, then it could be lower prices for Rocket Lab. Now for the weekly time frame, I was telling you guys, if we lose this 50 moving average, this could be the start of the bear market for this asset. And we did lose the 50 moving average, but we quickly recovered it with this green engulfing candle. Now so far for this week, we're starting to get a red candle and we're stuck in between the 21 and the 50 moving average. Now the stochastics here are low and we are starting to point up. We started losing here the 50 on the RSI. That's a little bit iffy here. We need to get back above this 21 moving average at $90.22. If we could do that, we could remain bullish. If we lose this 50 moving average, look at this gap here in the VRVP. Eventually we could jump straight down here. We could end up being at $45. If we end up losing the 50 moving average, we pretty much could fall back down to the 80, if not the 100, and then eventually the 200. Now something that looks a little bit bullish to me is that maybe this could be some type of a falling wedge pattern here that probably has already started to break out. And if that's the case, this could bring us back up to about $133, possibly even going back to test this wick here at around $150. The stochastics are low enough that maybe if we break above this 21 moving average, this pattern could play out. But we would need confirmation of breaking this 21 moving average in order for to even think that this is a possibility. Now we head over to the 3-day time frame. Stochastics again are looking good. We're pointing up. We still have room to continue going up here. We reclaimed the 100 moving average, the 80, but we're getting stuck here below the 50 moving average at $85.48. We need to get back above this 50 moving average, and once again we need to get back above this 21 moving average at $97. So that's pretty much the gateway, is the $90 to $97 area. If we could break back above the $97 area, and that opens us up to get above $100 here. If we get rejected, we could go back and test the lows that just happened at $58.20. Now on the daily time frame, this is where it starts to get a little bit bearish. The RSI is starting to point down. We're still holding above the 50 line, but look, the stochastics are also toppy here. We're starting to drag. This could drag here a little bit more, but eventually this is gonna roll over, and we're getting kind of rejected off of this 50 moving average at $89.19. Right now we are holding above the 200 moving average at $78, but if we lose this 200 moving average and this 21 moving average, to me we're going to end up having more downside. And then on the 4-hour time frame, on the last episode right here, I created a bear flag because we were going sideways and we had lost the 21 moving average. So I was telling you guys, if we lose this 200 moving average and we cannot reclaim it, we could possibly come down to about $65. Now what's interesting is that we pretty much hit the measured move and we actually went down to $58. The only problem is that the pattern didn't play out. But if you guys see, when we came back up, we got rejected off of the 100 moving average and we eventually lost the 200 moving average. So by losing this 200 moving average again, that makes it bearish, and this is why we eventually went down. So the pattern didn't play out, but the price did come to fruition. So I would say that that is technically a winning trade, not pattern wise, but price wise. It was called in the last episode. So if you guys guys were lucky enough to get into a short after we lost the 200 moving average, I'm pretty sure you guys got those gains. Now, right now, the stochastics RSI are toppy. You can already see that we're rolling over. We have some bearish divergence here happening as well. We're below the 200 moving average. The RSI is also pointing down. Again, if we cannot get back above this 200 moving average, we're going to have more than likely more downside. We're probably going to come down to test $70. And if we can't hold $70, look out for $65 and then look out to test $58 again. And if we lose that, we could possibly even go down into the 40s. Now, on the 1 hour time frame, the stochastics are starting to reset, but we still have more room here to continue coming down. I'm liking that the 21 moving average crossed up on the 200 moving average. That's pretty bullish, but now that we're up here, we cannot lose this 21 moving average and especially this 200 moving average. We lose this, then we're possibly going to go down and again, maybe come down to this point of control here on the VRVP, this red line, which is currently at around $67. So right now, guys, overall for the short term, I'm feeling a little bit bearish for Rocket Lab. I feel like we probably are going to come down and test at least $70 again. But for the longer term, I feel like maybe if we could bounce back up from some of those levels, we could possibly make it back up. I already told you guys the gateway is the $97 price. If we could get above $97, I expect this to break above $100 and maybe even get to that $133 price point that we saw for the falling wedge on the weekly chart. But if we cannot get back above $97, then I do expect this to go to $70 or below. All right, guys, so that's the breakdown. If this gave you clarity or a setup to watch, do me a favor, like, drop a comment, subscribe. And if you have a stock or crypto you want me to go over, drop it in the comment section. This is FlexCandle, where we read the candles and flex the moves. Catch you on the next chart.